Yes, Mommy's talking to the heater. It's bad enough that I talk to you, but Mommy works alone all day. Come here. Come here. Hey, it's Sue in the restricted section. Today I'm going to do my February wrap up and then do a little TBR at the end. I actually managed to read, I think, 5 books in February, which is surprising because I spent most of the month reading The Three Musketeers. But the first book I actually finished was an audiobook. I listened to Yes Please by Amy Poehler. And this has been sitting in my Audible library for months. So I decided to finally give it a go. It's her memoir. Amy Poehler is an actress and comedian, if you, for some reason, haven't heard of her. And you know, I'm not like a big super fan or anything of hers, but I do really like her. I liked her on SNL, and Parks and Recreation is one of my favorite shows. So I'd call myself a fan of hers, but I still kind of only found this book to be a little mediocre. I think maybe my expectations were too high because I'd heard a lot of people say that it was so great. And I mean, it was funny and you know, it was kind of interesting to learn more about her, but all in all, I kind of just thought it was, you know, same shit, different day with these celebrity memoirs. The only celebrity memoir I've read that really blew me out of the water was Felicia Day's memoir. For some reason, that one just I really connected with that one, I guess. But yeah, this one I ended up giving 3 stars, so it was okay. I don't know. And then next I read The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas, and I did a full review of this, which I'll link down below if you want to check that out. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Thought it was a great time. Then the next book that I finished was The Art of Asking by Amanda Palmer. It says the subtitle is Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Let People Help. And Amanda Palmer, if you are unaware, is a musician. She was in the band The Dresden Dolls, and now she does like solo work, I think. But this was my book club's pick for this month, and I actually already owned it, so I had planned to read it anyway. And this is another one. It's another celebrity memoir, but I feel like it kind of the title makes it seem like kind of more of a self-help book. And I wouldn't say that that's true. Like, I don't really understand, because I've heard people who didn't even know who she was say that they read it and loved it. And I don't really get that because I knew who she was. I'm not like a huge fan of hers or anything, again, but you know, I've heard the Dresden Dolls before. I actually have a tattoo inspired by the song Coin Operated Boy by the Dresden Dolls. So, you know, they had a couple songs that I really enjoyed. And I, again, found this book to be pretty mediocre. I didn't really think it lived up to the hype that I've heard. I've heard so many people say it was so amazing. And I had pretty mixed feelings about it because I do feel like I did, you know, gain some wisdom from it about, you know, asking people for help and, you know, communicating with people as well, which is something I struggle with. So I do think I gained something from reading this, you know, gained something positive from reading this, but myself and a lot of the ladies in my book club all had kind of mixed feelings about Amanda Palmer herself. I think my main problem with it was that I frankly didn't believe parts of it. And I know that, you know, writing a memoir, you're not gonna remember exactly the things that were said in conversation with people, you know, years ago. But some of the dialogue that she put in here just didn't seem like something 2 people would ever say to each other. And maybe that's just me being someone, like I said, who doesn't really communicate well. But there was times where it's like someone just said the exact right thing at the exact right time, and I'm like, really? I don't think that happened. And then there's also a part at the end where she worked as a living statue, and then at the end she talks about like seeing another man working as a living statue and like hugging him and crying. I don't know, like that story didn't seem very believable to me. But again, like I have no way of knowing whether that actually happened or not. So who knows, but some parts of it just didn't really ring very true to me. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. And there was, like in my book club, there was one woman who absolutely loved it, one woman who absolutely hated it and DNF'd it. My sister actually DNF'd it as well, but she didn't hate it, she just thought it was really boring. And then the rest of us, I think, had pretty mixed feelings about it. We're like, I don't know. So maybe it's just a somewhat polarizing book. I don't know. I heard so many wonderful things about it. I heard so many people say that this was so amazing. So maybe, again, my expectations were too high. I don't know. The next book I finished was Difficult Women by Roxane Gay. This is a collection of short stories, and Megan and I actually did a full review of this one, which I will link down below if you're interested. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really solid collection. There wasn't really a story in it that I disliked, I don't think. So I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last book I read was my February TBR jar pick, and that was The Tent by Margaret Atwood. This is the first Atwood that I'd read, and it's just like little short pieces. Like some of them are like a paragraph or 2 long. If you can see it, the light's really bright. I think I gave it 3 stars. I'll probably do a full review of it just because I want to do reviews of all my TBR jar picks. So you can look out for that if you want to hear more about it. But there was some pieces that I really, really liked and thought were fantastic, and then there was a lot that were just kind of okay. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. I did really like her writing, so I'm excited to read some of her novels. I do feel like maybe it wasn't a great place to start with her, because I got the feeling as I was reading it that, like, maybe if I had read some of her novels already, I might have enjoyed it more. Like if I kind of knew her style and everything. Maybe I'll reread it sometime down the road after I've read more by her. Alright, and that's all the books I read. So now I'm going to talk about the books that I plan to read for March. First, I plan to finish Imago by Octavia Butler. It's the last book in the Xenogenesis series. I've already started it, and I've got probably about 100 pages left, I think. Yeah, about 100 pages left, and I'm loving it so far. I fully anticipate giving this whole series a 5-star rating, because so far I think it's fantastic. And next, Megan and I both are planning to buddy read Beloved by Toni Morrison with Valentina over at, so sorry if I mispronounce your channel name, but Lectito in Spain, I believe is how you say it. So I'll link her channel below, and you guys should go check her out if you haven't yet, because she's really awesome. But this will be my first Toni Morrison, so I'm really excited about that. And I've heard absolutely fantastic things about it. And this is about a woman who escapes from slavery and then is sort of being haunted by its heritage. And I've heard that it's like really heartbreaking, but really fantastic, so can't wait for that one. And the next book club's pick for March is the book Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, the author of which is escaping me right now, but I'll put it here. And this is, I think it's true crime. I'm not 100% certain on that. I know it's a crime novel, but I think it's true crime. And it's set in, I believe, Georgia. I should have looked this stuff up first. Yeah, it's kind of a southern classic, so I'm pretty excited to get to that one as well. One that I'm hoping I get to, but it's kind of low priority, is The Tunes of Aswan by Ursula K. Le Guin. This is the 2nd book in the Earth-Sea cycle, and I didn't love the first book. I thought it was pretty mediocre, but you know, this is only like, I think 120 or 145 pages long. So I thought, you know, I might as well give the 2nd book a shot and see how it goes. And if I don't like this one, I probably won't continue on with the series, because I don't have the rest of the series anyway. I borrowed these first 2 books from my friend Sean, and these are the only 2 that he has. So, you know, if I'm not really digging the series, I'm not going to go to the effort to try and get the other 2 books to read. So we'll see how this one goes. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw my next book from my TBR jar. So let's do it. Alright. So the book I have chosen is, oh no, I'm going to redraw because I'd actually talked about buddy reading this with somebody else, and it's also super hugantic, but it's the Once and Future King. That is huge, and I had discussed, I think, buddy reading it with Amber from The Drunken Library, and maybe Sam too. I'm not sure. I don't remember for certain. So I'm going to redraw. So let's do that again. Okay. I got one of my own hairs with it, so that's fun. I dropped a bunch of these on the floor the other day, so. Alright, The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. So, that's pretty cool. I've actually just got this book too, I haven't even hauled it yet. So, I plan to read The Dispossessed next month. Maybe Megan will want to read it with me because she also has that book. We'll see. That concludes my wrap-up and TBR. Thank you everyone for watching. There'll be links below where you can find myself and Megan other places on the internet. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.